today we're going to be doing yoga for hips. So today we'll be focusing primarily on those hips opening up where we carry a lot of our stress and a lot of tension. And when we have tight hips, we also have issues with our back, hamstrings, shoulders. It's all kind of connected. So today we're going to start in a seated position, warm up, and then get right into it. Please listen to your body, do what feels good to you. Taking a slow, deep breath in, slowly through the nose, and exhaling out your mouth. Just let everything sort of relax and let go. Just taking one more slow, deep breath as you inhale, opening up that chest, allowing that breath to just absorb into your body as you exhale and breathe. Let's bring those arms up to a nice big reach. Opening up through that body, just slightly pedal those arms, reaching to the sky, opening up the side of the body, and everything is connected. So we want to make sure that we're really opening up everything before we get deep into those stretches. Now please remember, as we go, we're going to slowly flow a little bit more. And we're going to hold these stretches just a little bit, and as we hold them, taking those slow, deep breaths, reaching and extending. One more time on each side. Feel the side of that body opening up. Last time, inhale, both arms up to the sky. Exhale and release. Let's go right into our stretches here. We're going to go into a little butterfly, hands at your ankles. Roll your shoulders and lift up. Now to focus on that lower body, I want you to remember that the best way to get into the lower body is to keep that spine nice and straight. We'll go into the back as well a little bit, and that's when you'll notice we'll round the back. But generally, during practice today, we want to concentrate on a nice long spine. Go ahead and reach those fingertips towards your toes, and it's okay if you're reaching just towards your ankles. Roll the shoulders, open that chest up to the sky. And then round your shoulders. Feel the difference as we stretch through here. Feeling that stretch of that low back, opening up the hips. Let those knees sink towards the earth. Take your time as you slowly come on up. Bring those knees in. Today, your background music is my dog. Just let that chin relax to the chest. Open up your shoulders. And lift that chest up. Let's go right into swinging those hips around into a tabletop. And we're going to have those hands underneath our shoulders and knees underneath your hips. Round the shoulders, belly button through the back into our little cat here. Exhale, arching the back. And all we're doing right now is a nice little warm up. Extend that chest forward. Point that tailbone up. And let's just do that one more time. Rounding the back, opening up that spine, tuck your chin in. Feel free to just let that head hang heavy. And then exhale, arching your back. Draw your chest forward. Take those shoulder blades, press them back. And then neutral spine here. We're going to open those knees, tuck your toes together, sit back into your heels. Now if this bothers your knees, you can still keep those hips up and you'll still get a nice stretch. Extending those arms forward into our extended child's pose. So just relax your head, let your head sink down. If it bothers your shoulders, you can bend your elbows and just rest your head on your arm. So let's just rock from side to side. Again, opening up those hips. Just let yourself swing from side to side very gently. Feel that head just rest. Let that blood flow towards your heart. Holding it center, sink into it. Now it feels really good to just let your belly fall through your thighs and let your arms sink into the mat. So if you feel as you're getting a little warmer, maybe you want to lift that head up, place it back down nice and gently, and take a slow deep breath. Let's bend the elbows so we can safely come on up and just take those arms back, bringing the knees underneath the hips. Extend those arms, and we're going to slowly just curl your toes, lift your hips into your first downward dog, shift your weight back. Go ahead and pedal your heels, opening the back of your knees. Hold it here, take a breath as you shift your weight back. And I want you just to pedal here, rocking back and forth. We call this wagging the tail. Feel that through the side of the body. Bending those knees a little deeper. Hold it, let your head hang heavy. Take a breath. Inhale. We're going to touch our toes together on that downward dog and take your right leg and lift it up to the sky. Now just open up your hips. Here's our first hip opener. Drop your heel. Shift your weight back. Look for your armpit. And I want you to imagine lifting that knee up to the sky. And notice the first time, maybe you're still tight through the front of the body. Exhale, look at your fingertips. We're gonna swing that right leg through into our first pigeon. So we're gonna take that right leg to the outside of the left of your mat and then gently drop your shin down. Go ahead and curl the toes and just slightly swing that leg back, dropping down into your hip. Now if you have a hard time sitting down, I don't want you to lean into your hip. You can take a blanket or a block and just place it underneath your tush here. So it gives you some support. So we want to make sure that our weight is shifted into the center. And again, we talked about straightening the spine, so we're going to lift that spine nice and tall and hold it here. Now this is just our first pigeon. We're going to work through this, really getting those hips open. And if you're super tight through your glutes or you have any issues with your periformis or sciatic, this is the stretch for you. And then exhale, curl your back toes, lift that back knee, and then take that right leg and lift it up. Now if you want to shake it out, you can. If you need to take time, go ahead into your downward dog. Exhale, touch your toes, left leg lifts up, open your hips, drop that knee, shift your weight back, look through your armpits, really bring that knee up to the sky. Now remember, this is your first time. Exhale, look at your fingertips, take that left leg slowly into your pigeon to the outside of your mat and dropping your shin, shifting your weight back. Now again, this is your first time, so we want to make sure that we're not sitting on that tush again, so we're going to lean on over towards your foot, and if you need that blanket, feel free to place it under your hip. And this is our first time, so we're going to keep that chin and chest up. Hold it here. We have all kinds of fun noises today. Just take a breath. Exhale, release it. And we're going to kind of pay attention to how you feel. Curl that back toe, lift up, take that leg. You can shake it out if you need to, and then lift back to your downward dog. Now we're going to do that again with a variation. Touch those toes together, lift your right leg up, open your hips, drop your heel. Shift your weight back, look through your armpits. Notice this second time, you can feel that stretch happen, the hips open. Look at your fingertips, swing that leg through. We're going back to your pigeon and we're going to add a variation. Drop your shin, gently bring your hips back. Notice maybe now you can push those hips back a little further. Again, make sure your weight is centered, so if you need that blanket, place it right on your hip. Now this time we're going to gently drop down and just take your time as you breathe here. If you need to click pause and just hold it a little longer, you can. But each time we do this, we're going to notice that stretch get a little deeper, your body letting go. So the more you can focus on your breath and just letting that brain connect with the area that has the most need, which is the hips at this point. Just breathe. Inhale, lift those hips. Curl your toes, bring that right leg. Remember, you can shake it out and push yourself into your downward dog. Shifting that weight a little back. Notice even that downward dog feels a little better as you can point your tailbone up to the sky, touch your toes, left leg lifts up. Open your hips, drop your heel. Shift your weight back with your armpit. Oh, maybe now you can arch that back a little bit more. Only what feels comfortable. Keeping those shoulders in line as well. Look at your fingertips. Slowly take that left leg into your pigeon, dropping down, shifting back. Now again, if you need that blanket, you're welcome to shift it back and forth. So from here, let's lift up, lengthen the spine, weight comes over on towards the heel, and then very slowly open those hips, relaxing that head. Remember, taking that breath as you exhale, extend your chest forward, shift your weight slightly over. Let's lift those hands up. Take your time. Remember, you can always click pause. Take your time. Back foot lifts up. Black knee, lift it up. Shake that leg out if you need to. Downward dog. Now we're going to do one more of those, creating a little bit more space in those hips and glutes. Take your breath. Inhale in your downward dog. Shift your weight back. Now, anytime we're in our downward dog and you want to be in child's pose, you're welcome to be in child's pose instead. Toes touch. Right leg lifts up. Open the hips. Oh, feels so good. Let's look at the fingertips. Take that right leg. We're going back into our pigeon here. Foot comes down, drop it down, and shift your weight back. So remember, we want to shift our weight towards that foot. Now here's our variation. From here, we're actually going to walk our body towards our foot here. Notice that that lifts that hip up a little, and that's okay, but we want to sink down here. Now you can gently drop down if you choose. Feel that stretch get deeper through the glutes and low back. Now, if you'd like, you can even extend your arms out and let your body sink towards your foot. Take your breath. Slowly lift yourself up. Walk yourself to center first. Make sure that we're in alignment. Curl the back toe, lift up. Take that right leg. If you need to shift it out, you can. And we're gonna go back to your downward dog. Big inhale. Now remember, in that down dog, you're welcome to go into child's pose. Let's touch your toes together here. Left leg lifts up, open your hips. We're doing the other side. Drop your heel. Shift your weight back, look through your armpit. Open those hips. Oh, maybe now you can bring that knee back a little further. Feeling the lengthen happen through those hips and back. Looking at your fingertips, swing that left leg through. On the outside, let's drop down into that pigeon. So we're gonna hold it here again. Lift that chin and chest so we're lengthening that spine. And we're gonna walk our hands towards that foot. Notice that hip lift a little bit, but it gets deeper through those glutes. Take your time. Now you don't have to drop down. You can always use blocks here. So if you need to, you could be up here and hold it in a block position. And again, you can also extend those arms forward. Take a breath. Now we want to hold these stretches for a few seconds so we can really let the muscle and our brain connect. Take that breath as you inhale. Exhale, just let it go. One more breath, feeling that stretch, feeling those hips open. Maybe feeling any emotions that you might be holding in those hips. It's very common. Very slowly bringing it up and then walking your body to center. Excellent. Curl the toes. Lift that knee up. Feel free to shake that leg out. Now this is our last one, so we can really focus, and I'm going to give you an option here. Let me move my stuffed toes, touch. And take your right leg lifted up into that stretch. Now option to stay here, or if you'd like, you can flip your dog. We just drop that foot slowly, open up, and we go into wild thing or a flip dog. Open up. Really feel the front of the body. Inhale. Now to come out of this, look at your hand. Swing that leg through and then drop. Now that right leg is up. We're going into our last pigeon. Excellent. Swing it back. Slow, deep breath. Now remember, those options are there. You don't have to do a wild thing. You don't have to go into downward dog every time. Take your breath. We're holding it center. Now what I'd like for you to do is just slowly come on up and hold it here. Now if you'd like your blocks, you can, but we're gonna turn our body towards the opposite leg, right? So we're gonna open up those hips just a tiny bit, and you can either just sort of reach towards your thigh, or if you like, you can bend the knee and open up. And when we do this, you wanna roll the shoulders, so we open the hip, and if you wanna flip that hand to the inside of your foot, and stretch here. Now we're really stretching through the front of the thigh here and hip. We don't wanna just work the back, we wanna work the front. And take your time as you slowly drop the foot down, taking those hips back to center. And remember, you have your options. Curl the back foot, lift up. You can shake that leg out. Down dog, we'll do the other side. Take a breather. Exhale. You're gonna feel amazing just from this little stretch and flow back and forth, really getting those hips open, toes touch to lift that left leg, open up. Now remember, if you'd like, you can drop into your wild thing or reversed and lift up and flip your dog. Always an option. Lift that shoulder away from your ear, push your hip up. And to come out of this, remember, we want to look at our hand, use the blade of that foot and the weight of that leg to lift up and then bring it up. Now if you want to stop for a second and down dog, you can. If not, we're going to swing that left leg through into our pigeon. Hold it, place yourself back to center for just a second, find that position, and then lift up. Let's look over to the side here. So you can take that right arm with your right leg back and just reach. You want to bring that arm back and open the chest and shoulders, you can. Or bend the knee and lift that leg up. And from here, we want the outside. Draw your shoulder blade back, look over the shoulder. Oh, really feel those hips. Now, if we did this first, it would feel a lot different. We'd be really tight. So opening those hips really helps in that three-legged dog. Slowly release. Back to center. Take your time. Curl the toes, lift up. Shake that leg out if you need to. Downward dog. Hold it here. Take a breath. Exhale, shift your weight back. Excellent. Let's go ahead and walk our feet to our hands into a little forward fold, bend the knees. And just ragdoll your body, grabbing the elbows. Feel that stretch to the lower back. Feel free to wiggle it out if you need to. And then relaxing the hands to come down back into your seated position. You can just cross your legs, sit back down. Excellent. So that was our flow for now. We're just gonna finish off those hips. Go ahead and sit yourself into that butterfly like we did at the beginning. And notice the difference. Feel a lot more open, a lot more released. Hands at your ankles. Maybe now you can grab your toes. If not, that's okay. Lift the chin and chest up. Now use those elbows into your hips to push your chest forward. Now it's not about how far you can go down. I want you to really lengthen that chin and chest straight forward. And now you can round and roll. Feel the difference when you first started. Everything feels so much better. Those knees are sinking. Everything feels nice and warm. Relaxing that head. And bringing that head up. Now I want you to remember that there's a ton of hip stretches that we can do. Today we're focusing on our pigeon, opening the front of the hip and through the glutes here. So we want to make sure to counterbalance. We're going to finish off here by just laying down for me, please. Now as we lay down, we're going to open up back into that butterfly and toes touch. Just take your hands and gently place them on your thighs. So we're going to finish here by just pressing those hips down. Take a breath. Exhale and release. And you could repeat this workout as many times as you'd like. If you really suffer from issues with your hips, this is a great one to do at least 2 or 3 times a week. Or maybe you want the variation. There's plenty of other videos that we'll be doing. And just 20 minutes a day is really going to help your mindset, connect that body, and increase that metabolism in that body. Bringing the knees in, hands behind your knees, just hug it in. Slow, deep breath. Take your time. Exhale, extend those legs straight out, arms up to the sky. Reach it over that head. Exhale and arms to a T. Let's take those legs and open your feet wide and over to one side. So holding it here, one side. And then slowly over to the other side, again, stretching through the front of that hip. Back to the center. Let's hug those knees out. Now this time when we hug our knees in, we're gonna hug our knees to the outside of our rib cage. And just feel that stretch to that lower back. Dropping those feet down. Let's extend those legs out. We're just gonna hold for a moment, taking your breath. Feel free to have your arms at your side. Little Savasana just for a moment. Just connecting your mind to your body. Feel how the body is floating on that mat. Taking one more slow, deep breath. Exhale, let everything go. And all that stress and tension in your hips, taking one more breath. Inhaling all that positivity. Exhaling anything that doesn't serve you. All that stress in your hips, it's all gone. Rolling it over to one side just to get yourself into a seated position. Let's go ahead and take it up. Sitting however you're comfortable. Hands in heart center. I'd like to thank you for joining me today for full exclusive workouts. Please click the link below and we'll give you an instant full members only video. Have a wonderful day. Namaste.